Today I'm going to be talking all the lies, not all, but some of the lies that Black women are fed because I would like this video, I would like another Black woman to listen to this video and either relate to it or also share the lies that she was fed, whether it was the society, the culture, people that you were around, and that today you realize that it's not true. Because you know what? I am in my early 40s, and if I'm reflecting back to everything that I've achieved in this life, most of the time it's because, I decided not to go along with, any lie, or like a specific lie that was actually fed to me, either consciously or unconsciously by the society or the culture or the community, you name it. And so I'm going to go through a quick list here. There is no order in particular, but I would love for you to reflect on that list as I'm going through it and also share in the comments below how that is landing with you and also contribute, like, any other lie that you were fed that today you know for sure was a lie. And so the first one, nothing to do with money. My list has nothing to do with money in particular. But the first one is essentially that you need to alter your appearance to fit in. Listen, that is a big thing for us Black women, right? So you wear extensions because your curly hair is not accepted in some environment, or that you have to use some specific product on your skin because you don't want to look that dark in some environment, or that you have to be wearing clothes that are not fitting you well because unfortunately your curves or whatever that you feel like might not be accepted in the environment, you wear clothes that are not comfortable. Listen, we have to stop that. And this is coming from someone that for years and years I've done exact thing, which is essentially wearing extensions again to fit in. Never really use any specific product on my skin, but I've been around other Black women who have done that, and again in the hope of being accepted, whether it is at in the work environment or like in the social environment. And again, like going to be shopping for clothes that we pay with our hard-earned money and that are not really made for us. And so for me, it's been a few years that I've rejected all of that. As you can see, I'm wearing my own hair. It's completely locked. My hair is locked today. In terms of clothes, I'm wearing whichever clothes that I feel comfortable with. I am very well known in my job right now that I wear my traditional outfits, especially summertime. You will see me wear a lot of my traditional outfits. And I want to be comfortable. Like if today I find myself in an environment where I feel like I need to alter my appearance to be accepted, I will show myself the door. I will be gone because I'm not a tree, and I'm not at a point that I need to force any relationship, whether it is personal or professional. So I will see myself out and I will, thank them for the time and I'll be gone. And this is to say, essentially, if you're doing that because you want, if you're wearing extension because you love it and, the wigs and whatnot, all the power to you. That is completely different. But if you find yourself in an environment that you feel like you have to do all that to be accepted, to be seen, to be heard, to be promoted, please, you need to get out of there. It is not a good environment for you. I'm going to leave it at that. The second point, second lie that I think Black women are fed is essentially that you need a degree to get a job. Lie. As we know, Black women are the most educated right now in North America. That's just a fact. So we have it all: the masters, the PhD, the post PhD, you name it, we have it all. But that's not really, that doesn't guarantee the job. Today, we know people can have jobs very well paid without having a degree, right? So you need to think about it. What exactly do you want to achieve here? I mean, if you are like in the field where you need the degree, like you want to become a nurse or like a physician or a lawyer, yes, you need a degree. But for most of the thing, not most of it, but like for some jobs, you don't really need that degree. And we have been all in works and people getting promoted without having the degree that we thought that they needed to have to get that job. And that's why we went to get the degree. And then we realized that actually you don't need it. You just need to know the right people. Not so much to have the degree, but to know the right people and be in the right circles. So I'm going to say again, You do not need the degree to get the job. You need to know what exactly you want to do. And if you feel like you need to get the degree, go get it. But it's not an automatic link. The third thing is that you need a job, right? That you need a job to make a living. No, you don't. No, you don't. You need to make a living. One way or the other, you need to make a living. However, you do not have to work in corporate, for someone to make the money. Especially in these days, this and age, we know for sure, online, you can find something to do online. You can be your own boss. And I do believe, actually, as a matter of fact, that entrepreneurship is the way for Black women to build wealth faster. That's just what it is. Because actually, Black women today are like a category of people who are building or are becoming more and more entrepreneurs, and I'm so happy to hear that. I'm on my own journey of entrepreneurship as well, and I'm hoping very soon to be full-time entrepreneur. I do believe that if Black women can become entrepreneurs, if they really work toward entrepreneurship that way, it's going to be solving so much of the social trauma and honestly financial trauma as well. First of all, you get to work for yourself, right? So you're not working for anyone, uh, telling you what to do. You're not working around people, making jokes you don't want to even laugh to, or whatnot, and trying to, to fit in and all of those things. You make the rules yourself. Of course, it's harder to be an entrepreneur than an employee, but it's so much rewarding. And again, I feel like for mental health for Black women, I strongly believe that entrepreneurship is the way. And so entrepreneurship, and the other thing is, entrepreneurship for me is a way to get Black women out of toxic job environment, because we have all been through this. Most of us have been through this where, like, we're in an environment and people are not treating us well. We see clearly that we've been treated a certain way because we are Black and Black women. And so then we stay there because we don't have the money to leave. We don't have the like, we fear that if we leave this job, we may not be able to find something else, all kinds of things. But really, if you can embrace entrepreneurship and get out of that toxic job environment, that will be so beneficial for you, for your mental health, your physical health, your financial health, for so many things. And so even if you still try to figure out, how am I going to get out of this job environment, even if I know it's toxic, well, this is the time for you to register to the Job Liberation Summit, which is going to be hosted by my dear friend. I've never met her, but I call her my dear friend because she's my friend on YouTube, Marissa Price, and also Dr. Kimani. So from May 16th to May 21st this year, they're going to be offering the Job Liberation Summit. This is the third year doing it, if I'm not mistaken. I'll put a link to the summit in the description below. And the theme for the summit this year is the power of the pivot, talking about a powerful thing, right? So, and that summit is just all about that, to help Black women pivot from being in a toxic work environment and actually getting onto something else that they really wanted to do. And I think they'll be talking about entrepreneurship and all that. You can go and check out all of the sessions that they already have, May 16th to May 21st. I believe the early bird is until April 15th, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. You guys need to go and check the website and make sure to get your early bird tickets. But listen, this is really a summit that you do not want to miss, especially if you're working in an environment and you know very well that this is not an environment that you should be in, right? So this is the another lie. Again, you need to get a job to make a living. That is not true. The other lie that Black women are fed is essentially that you need a partner. You need a partner, right? You just need to find someone to marry. No, you don't. You don't. If you find someone to be in a relationship, long-term relationship, get married to that person and everything, and it's really for your own greater good, you go for it. However, don't make that something that is mandatory in your life, and that if you don't achieve that, then you don't have a good life. That is not true. I'm pretty sure that you know someone in your circle right now who's single and is very, very happy about their life. I do not think that all of us on this earth need to go through the same the same cycle, the same process, the same steps and whatnot. Like, of course, that's what society wants. That's what they want. They want you to go to school, get the degree, get the job, get the house, get the car, get the partner, make the kids, get the dog, and all of that, and then retire, and hopefully for them, not long after you die. No, we don't have to follow all that. You need to be very clear on what you want in your life. And that's what I feel like even in when I meet customer and I talk to them about why do you want to build wealth? Because they come and they want to start with investing. But why do you want to invest? Why do you want to build wealth? You don't have to. And so by me probing like that, I'm forcing them to project themselves, 10 years, 20, 30 years, and be like, where do I want to be? Where my future self wants to be in 30 years, in 20, in 10. And that's what's going to be helping you to actually, put the actions, the things in momentum right now so you can actually achieve that. But we don't have, like, not all of us need to find someone. I hope that I will find a partner eventually, but right now I'm happily single, and things are working well for me. I really don't feel like, I have to find someone to be happy. Like, you need to be uh, there is a bit of contentment that needs to come from any situation that you are at any time in your life, and that doesn't mean that you're not working toward changing it if you want to. But I just reject that, that lie that I've heard so many, like, so many of my friends or people that I know, black women, where when they get to a certain age, their parents, they start to get like antsy and be like, okay, so are you gonna get married? Are you gonna find someone? Are you gonna marry this person? No, no. It's not mandatory. Okay, so on to the next slide that I believe black women are fed, which is essentially you need to have kids. Honestly, you know what? There is such I don't even know how to say it nicely, but there is that kind of like idea, or like preconception conception of how life should be. Of course, right? If everybody at one point had stopped making kids, probably we wouldn't be here today. However, if everybody on earth was also making kids, I think the population today will be 10 times. And can we handle that? The cycle of life for each person is totally different. We are unique. That's what I need to, tell people. You are a unique person. You get to live your life, but you need to know what you want in your life. I have good friends who have decided that they don't want to have kids. And so, and some of them are dealing with that right now, where the parents are like, okay, well, again, you need to find a partner to make the kids. You're getting old and all that, and so much pressure, honestly, for nothing. And so, if you're a black woman out there and you have been fed that lie of, like, you need to have kids, I'm sorry, having kids, it doesn't make you a better or worse person. At least in my eyes, you get to make your own decision. And the next lie actually is kind of like, the combination of these previous two one, which is essentially you need to find someone to make kids. No. And I'm leaving that right now, which is essentially I'm single, but I have kids, right? So those two are not linked. You get to decide. You could also have the partner and decide not to have the kids. Or in my case, again, I don't have the partner, but I've decided to have the kids. Or you could not have a partner and not have a kids. So whatever the society is telling you that is right, and then everybody is kind of like talking in your ears, and even including myself, I'm gonna go back to it again. Those are all lies. The truth is what you really want for yourself, because you need to be able to stand straight and define your own position, right? So that is really, for me, something that is really important. And the other thing that I'm gonna say, and the last line that I have in my mind, is that we get the pressure as black women that we need to care for everybody in our life, especially like me. If you're in a position where you're the oldest, or like the only girl, or it puts you are like in a specific situation, or like you're the one making the most money in the family and whatnot. Listen, no, you don't. You don't. There is not written anywhere that essentially because you get to be in a certain position, in the order of birth, or like you're like the only girl or whatnot, that you have to take care of everybody before even taking care of yourself. It does not work like that. And so you need to be comfortable pushing against and be like, I'm sorry, but I'm not doing this. And it takes time. I'm even myself, I'm still working because for many, many years I just took that for law. I thought it was just normal. And then at one point you start questioning yourself and you be like, listen, so and so, I feel like she doesn't have that same pressure. Like, why? And then, hopefully you are like around people who can really help you to actually get over it, and being able to establish strong boundaries where essentially you really, and when you put the boundary in place, you think that you putting the boundaries in place for the other people. No, you really putting the boundaries even for yourself, to really protect yourself from yourself, because your natural instinct will want you to say, yes, yes, I'll do that, yes, I'll be there, yes, I'll give you the $100, don't worry, yes, I'll give you the shirt off my back. It does not work like that. All right. So I think I went longer than I wanted, but you guys get the gist of it. Your action item really from this video is that you need to go and check out the Job Liberation Summit that Marissa and Dr. Kimani are putting in place May 16th to 21st. And yeah, check it out. Hopefully you register, and I can tell you right now that you will not regret it. And the other action item for you is to hit the like button here, and also share with anyone that you feel like will really enjoy this video. And let me know in the comments, what are the lies that you were fed and that today you're like, I think I'm good. I think I'm good, right? So thank you so much for watching again, and until next time, keep on building wealth. Bye bye.